Hi, this is Linda McLaughlin, founder of MJIB. That was Buddy. And today we're making another video on You Don't Even Know Founder. Alright, so this was my grandma's house. And inside her house are all sorts of wonderful memories that I photographed on the very same afternoon that unfortunately she was leaving this earth. May she rest in peace, and I hope to meet her again, God willing. So, join me now on the journey inside my grandma's house. So, my grandma had this wonderful, wonderful kitchen. We'll start here. These incredible memories of my childhood. She used to have a red tile floor. Oh, this is the original red block. Actually, it is. They upgraded it after my uncle moved in. Oh my gosh, the original floor. I used to always think that floor was so intriguing when I was a child. She had this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful kitchen with beautiful oak cupboards. It's just incredible, and she used to keep all these interesting groceries way up at the top over there. And the way she'd get them down was to use a long knife and poke at them until the box fell. It was kind of funny. But this was my grandma's kitchen. So I have the original pictures, and this was the very same hour that she was leaving this earth. I just wanted a memory of my grandma's house before everyone came on in and took it all apart. It was supposed to have been my house. It was actually in her will, but my arrogant, stuck-up relatives went out of their way to make sure that I didn't get the house. Well, I haven't forgotten. Beautiful kitchen, also nice and clean, and she had been at home until the day before, and so basically she got to stay at her home until the end. And here was part of her living room. Was kind of blurry. I'll try to make it clear. I'm sure you don't want to see relatives that don't like me, and I don't like them. So here we go. There. It was just really beautiful. So I'm not a professional video maker, as you can tell, but I am trying. And there's a picture of my grandma. I don't know what happened to that picture, but there she was as a young girl. So here was the rest of the living room and the picture window. Now there's an interesting story with this window. She used to have a couch in front of the window when I was a small child. And I had a very, very idyllic childhood, and I think it's one that MJ really, really loved to hear stories of because it was different than his, right? I grew up right outside a huge, huge field, and I could just go out and explore in the field all day. It was very safe and time to dream and look up at the sky and see the clouds and all the different shapes. It was just a very peaceful, quiet childhood. I spent a lot of time alone in those fields, and that's probably why I spend a lot of time just by myself, as is now. So I remember when I was a child that I was just looking out the window one Sunday morning, and there was all these ambulance and fire trucks and police and everything, and I'd never seen such an excitement in my life, and I was quite scared. And then the worst part came. Then I seen stretchers coming out of the front door of that house across the street, covered in white sheets. So that was like probably the most traumatic thing I ever saw as a child. That was it right there. Of course, I didn't know what it was. My uncle had to tell me that, it was a family where the dad just went ballistic and don't need to finish the sentence. So I remember that. And here again was her fancy dining table. And you can see I have this picture now, actually. That's her mom and her dad. That was my great-great-grandma Sidley sitting in the chair. Isn't very clear. And this was my grandma's sweater that she kept on the chair. The first video I made was more clear, but I didn't stick to the topic, which is something I tend to do. So here was the calendar on the day my grandma was passing, May 1990. Her birthday would have been in November. She didn't make it. You can see she was crossing out all the days. So I remember this hallway. There was these wonderful cupboards. And when I was a child, I used to be so curious of these cupboards. Because there'd be toys in there and puzzles and all sorts of interesting things. I used to be intrigued by these cupboards. So this house has had a huge influence on my life. I still like lots of wooden furniture, lots of hidden drawers, things like that. That's really important to me. And this is 1990. It doesn't seem like it's that long ago, does it? Oh, here was my grandma's buffet cupboard, which meant a lot to me at the time. That was just something I was always impressed of when I went over to my grandma's house. Yeah. It did actually become mine, and I rehomed it to get it refinished and taken care of because it's quite huge and I can't cart that with me halfway around the world. No comment. So there was my grandma's living room. That's just the way she had it. And here was my grandma's bedroom, and there was her bed. Aw, look at that. And that used to be my grandpa's room. He passed away in the 70s, and grandma used to be in the other room. My grandma and grandpa each had their own room. And taking the picture here was my mom, who was unfortunately now passed away too. Rest in peace, Mom. I still can't believe. Most days I don't even think you're gone. It's just too hard to comprehend. But you're with me every day, of course. Super. That was your nickname. So I don't think the relatives would really want me to show them right now, would they? But we can sneak a picture of Grandma on the side. There she is. There's my grandma. So I hope you enjoyed this view. Yeah. And we'll try to make more videos so you can kind of know where I'm coming from. So Buddy's having a sleep. It's actually pretty quiet right now. That's nice. It's a blessing when it's quiet because it's not always like this. And yeah, I want you to keep on believing and don't worry. The crazies are all gone. And yeah, it's going to be all right. I love you more. Bye-bye.